My name's David Plank, last name spelled P-L-A-N-K. About 4.5 years ago, Len Garofoli, who founded the company, shopped at my store in Port Charlotte. I was a store manager for West Marine. And he came in with kind of a long face one day, and I was checking him out. I said, "What's going on?" He said, "I'm having trouble finding good brokers, David." And I had been a broker in the past, which he knew. "Do you want to come on board?" And I said, "Yes, I will." So I worked part-time for 1.5 years, took 1 or 2 listings, and then right after COVID hit, I was tired of retail. So I left West Marine and walked in here one day and said to Len, "Where can I sit?" He said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm yours full-time." My brother and my father and I would go fishing, and we would rent a rowboat on a lake in New York State. So I was mostly the engine. So that's how I got my start, with a little rowboat. And then when I was about 21 or 22, I had a girlfriend who had been a competitive dinghy sailor, and we bought ourselves an O'Day, 17-foot O'Day day sailor, and she taught me how to sail. And then from there, I moved up to a 24-footer, and I moved up to a 32-foot sailboat, and I've owned a boat rental business. I had my captain's license for a while. Well, a lot of dealers that have brokerage offices, they will take, say for instance, they're a Sea Ray dealer. Their brokerage desk will take in a lot of Sea Rays for brokerage sale, and what ends up happening sometimes is that the dealer will use that used boat to move that client into a new boat by saying, "Look, okay, this boat's 10 years old, it has, 1,200 hours on the diesels, older electronics. I can move you into a very similar boat, new, easier to get financing and insurance, and you'll have a brand new boat with full warranty, and we'll back everything up through the boat manufacturer." I think with us, Pier 1, because we're not set up as big boat dealers, they're going to get a better level of service when it comes to selling. And then from the buying side, I don't think there's all that much difference between a dealer and a broker from my experience, from what I've seen, but that's the reason I would say someone would want to come work with us rather than go work with a boat dealer that also has a brokerage desk. I've got experience across the board with small power boats, small sailboats, moving up on through the spectrum. The biggest boat I sold, I think, was a 53 Carver. But when someone comes to talk to me, I've got a lot of experience in all types of vessels. I was on a survey yesterday, filling in for another broker, and the buyer asked me, he said, "David, I know you're in boat sales." And he asked me some questions about the boat. And then when I answered his questions, I said, I don't really consider myself a boat salesman. I consider myself someone who facilitates. I match buyers and sellers. I don't really put a hard sell on someone with a boat. What I sell is Pier 1 and the level of service and commitment that we can give to someone either on the buying side or the selling side. I would say being a good communicator. Communication is key in everything in life, and I have been, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I have been complimented recently on a couple of occasions on some deals that closed on how well I was communicating with my clients, how responsive I was, and how available I was. Here at Pier 1, we're not just about boats, we're about boat lifestyle.